Alright, we got the 2017 Pepsi Scorpion Championship. Belmonte and I bowling here. This was kind of a crazy day. As a lot of you know, we do multiple shows like this in one day, and the night before, Belmo had gotten very, very, very sick. As you can see, he's grimacing the whole time. It was pretty incredible watching him this day. Just bowl and be able to compete and still throw good shots. He's got a lot of fluids there in front of him, just trying to keep anything down. It was good for me to be successful on a longer pattern. I've typically over my career I haven't fared well on longer patterns. You would think somebody with the rev rate that I have that I would always excel at the longer patterns just because there's more oil in the lane, but I always see the lane get cliffed for me. If I get it right into the dry that gets created, it overhooks and then makes me move left, and then I get into the oil and my ball never really wants to hook. So it's one of those things that I've gotten better with over time, but you know, I still am not the best on the longer patterns. I'm a lot better on the medium style patterns. But to get into this title match, there was we started with 4 players, and then the top 2 moved on the game before, and I think I threw the last 9 strikes, I think it was, or something like that, last 8 or 9 strikes to shut Brandon Novak out by a pin or 2. So coming into this match against Belmo, you know, I had a lot of confidence going in myself, just because I was able to throw all those strikes in a row and get up in the 10th and throw 3 really good shots to get myself into this title match. This match could have been really, really important had Jason not gone on the next day to win the World Championships. I put myself in a great position to win Player of the Year, but Belmo won 3 majors, so it didn't really work out for me. And we see the other 2 guys that were on the show, Sean Maldonado and Brandon Novak, and they both bowled great to get there, and both bowled really good on the show. Like I said, I had to throw 3 shots in the 10th to shut Brandon out, and Sean, I think, bowled 230 or something like that. So it was a very high-scoring show, and just had to throw a lot of strikes. Again, watching Belmo do this was actually really incredible watching him. And you see when he throws a few of the shots, he steps off of them, and that's something that we don't ever see out of him. He never falls out of shots, never steps out of them. And when you see that kind of stuff out of him on a stage like this, you know that he is just kind of, I don't want to say going through the motions, but he's just giving maximum effort and trying to do as little as possible to get through this day. And the crazy part about it is Jason is just, he's so good and he's so determined to win all the time that even being so sick, he was able to perform. And it wasn't a walk in the park, that's for sure, in this match. Even though he could barely stand up, he made me earn every bit of it. And that's the signs of a true champion right there, that literally will do anything in their power to just compete and do the best they can. This week at the World Series, while I was there, I went through a little physical thing that I wasn't throwing it good at the beginning of the week. My hand got really around the ball, and the first 2 events, I I really didn't bowl well at all. And Brett Spangler and I talked about it. Did a couple of things, get my hand back underneath the ball, and I spent the third tournament just making sure that I got my hand underneath the ball, got the ball going forward, rolling a little bit. And on this fourth tournament, I was able to actually make some good shots, see the lane the right way, and I was able to make the show. So it was good for me to be able to go through a transition like that during a week where I wasn't bowling good in the beginning, was able to figure it out and put something together and still have a successful week and make a show. Something we saw from Bellman right there, we don't see very often. We see it a little bit more now with the newer urethane balls, but you don't see too many stone nines with the urethane balls, and that just attributes to just the skill of Jason, and what he's able to do to a bowling ball is pretty incredible. How much he can make a urethane ball hook and shape. So as we get farther into this match, right now Jason has, if he strikes out, he's got 279. I have spare in the first and a 3-bagger, so I have 290 going. So early on this match, it looks like that, you know, somebody's going to have to bowl 250 or so to win this match. But I think when we got into this point, Belmo started seeing a lot of transition from himself and what Sean Maldonado was doing, because Sean Maldonado was also throwing urethane at about the same place that Belmo was. So I think he saw a little bit of transition, saw a little bit of early hook, and in the end it really benefited me because I was playing not too far left of those guys. So when he did move left, he was going to be moving into where I was playing. So he was going to move from early hook to even more early hook. Just because of I was using a slower bowling ball, something that hooks a little bit earlier, something with a little bit of surface on it. So I was burning up the front part of the lane pretty well myself. So it really benefited me. The more we bowled, the better the lanes were going to get for me. And you don't win on the PBA Tour without getting a couple of breaks along the way. It was a good shot. It was a little firm. It was a little left, but to get the 7 and the 10 to go down like that is pretty cool. And then both pins fell down at the same time. But like I said, everybody's so good out here. You don't get wins without getting a couple of breaks along the way. And then I came back on the left lane and I made a really good shot, but you can see me kind of looking at the lane there. I saw my ball hook really, really early. So I knew that when I came back to that lane, I needed to move left, just because I saw my ball hook in the front part of the lane. So I believe I moved on the right lane when I got up and bowled again, because it made sense that my ball didn't get through the pins, why I almost left that 7-10. And so I moved left on both lanes just to try to get away from that early friction and that early hook. And I think Belmo, since he stone nined and then his ball hooked on the left lane, he made a move, and then his ball really never saw the lane and just never slowed down the right way. And I think it kind of confused him a little bit. And like I said, he was so sick that I don't think his thought process was 100% on this day. But he was still able to bowl a good score and make it a match. It was I know I've said it quite a few times, but it really was. It was incredible to watch him go through what he did, because I think he made 2 or 3 shows at this World Series. And he had bowled earlier this day on the Cheetah, I believe. And I mean, he could barely stand up then, and then later in the day, in between the matches, I think he was his insides were coming out sometime during the break in between the two matches. And you see there when I see Belmo make the move and throw one like that, I'm thinking, okay, well, I gotta keep the pedal down here because he's got it now, and he may not miss again. But I think I 210 somewhere in here, if I remember correctly. Could be on this shot. Yeah, and that was the move left and miss it right. Exactly what you don't want to do. So I made the correct move. I just made a really, really poor shot. I got lucky to get the 8 out there, so I at least had a chance to make the spare, but I don't think, pretty sure that I wasn't able to convert this one. Yeah, it was to me that's a pretty poor effort at that spare, because for us guys on tour, the 210 isn't an overly difficult spare, so to not even come close to making it is kind of disappointing for us. As you can see here, the max scores, we have a 3-pin game right now.
And I think, if you go back a couple of years, this is where we would see EJ kind of.
And I think the farther we went into this match, the adrenaline got up for Belmo, and I think some of the symptoms started to go away a little bit. But I know he was not 100% on this day, not even close. And like I said, I made the move left, so I leave that 10-pin there, and it's just one of those things. You made a good shot. The ball just didn't get through the pins the correct way. So for me, that's a stay in the same spot the next time and just roll the ball out of your hand, and make sure you keep the speed down a little bit and let that ball have time to see the lane the right way and get through the pins.
Remember last time on this lane he went light.
And I know Belmo normally he takes a lot of time before he gets on the approach, but I think he was taking a little bit of extra time on this day, just trying to not fall over. And on that shot there, I think he slipped a little bit at the line, and he was so weak because he had nothing inside him that it looked like he'd hurt his back a little bit on that shot. And at that point, as a competitor and as a professional, you never want to see anybody get hurt. So I was hoping that he didn't hurt himself, because I knew how important the next day was for him. And that's one of those things that you'd never, ever wish on anybody.
Max score now 221 for Belmonte. EJ Tackett.
But him leaving the 4-9 there really, really opened the door for me, because I knew no matter what Jason did on this next shot, if I got up and threw 2 strikes and got good count, I win. So I had the game in my hands at this point, no matter what Belmo did from here on.
This guy is on E. And the light's blinking.
And I know he's thinking at this point, just get up and throw a good shot and make me show up in the 10th frame. And he gets the nice messenger there. Gives him a little bit, but it's one of those things that, as I'm sitting there and see that, you got to expect those sort of things to happen, because it is Jason Belmonte. So, I expected him to get up there and strike. So I was prepared for that moment and for that to happen. So I just went about my business, got up there, and like I said, I knew if I just threw 2 good shots and 2 strikes, I was going to be taking the trophy home. And there was one really, really good shot there. Like I said, I'd made a move on that lane, and I made a bad shot the one before, so I didn't move my feet. I just got up there and made sure, like I said, keep my hand behind the ball, make sure I kept the speed down, give the ball time to read the lane the right way.
And the 4th time this year. So 4 titles last year and potentially 4 titles this year.
And even though I didn't need a strike, so I'm going to take a deep breath there. You don't want to make it difficult on yourself. Just get up there, throw one good shot, and strike. Just like that. And after seeing my ball hook early on that lane, and I moved left, and the 10 pin I left on that lane the last time, I did miss that one in a little bit because I wanted to make sure the ball didn't get too far away from the head pin. Luckily, I did the right thing with my hand, and the ball did the right thing, so I was able to get that messenger off the wall and get the 4 pin. And over the past couple of years, Jason and I have become pretty good mates, as he would say. And it's incredible to get to bowl alongside him. He's been so great for our sport, and I always wanna bowl Jason, because I know if I can bowl Jason on TV and I can beat him, I know I'm doing something right, because he's one of the best that our sport has ever seen. And if I beat him, I know that I'm close to being right there with him. So they got me my 9th title, and it was a good one because it was a hard fought one. Like I said, that week was really tough for me. The beginning was rough, and to end it on that note was pretty cool.